Everyone, welcome back to another video. And in this video we will have a short discussion on the topic of absorption costing, the advantages and drawbacks of absorption costing, and its comparison with other costing techniques such as marginal costing, and when it is beneficial to use absorption costing in place of marginal costing. So firstly, what is absorption costing? It is basically a method of costing in which all the fixed and variable methods of costing are included, all the direct and indirect cost, whether they are directly related towards the manufacturing or towards the servicing of the component, are included in its costing. And this can also be known as a drawback of this method, as it includes all the costs relating to the product. So let's dive in more deep into this topic, and let's see what exactly is absorption costing. A costing method with all the manufacturing costs are included in the cost of the product includes direct material, labor, and both variable and fixed manufacturing overhead, just as we discussed, required for external financial reporting under many accounting standards. So one of the main advantages of this method of using the absorption costing is that it is required in many of the regulatory frameworks, and using this method complies with all of those things, and it is more common to use this type of costing when compared to other costing methods such as marginal costing. And let's see the components of the absorption costing, such as direct material, direct labor, variable manufacturing overhead, fixed manufacturing overhead, and all these costs are absorbed into the cost of the product. So just as we discussed that all of the components are fixed, whereas variable are included in this product. Now many people describe as including all the costs relating to a single product as a drawback, as some products may outperform some other products as well. So when all of these costs are included in just one product, so that element of inefficiency cannot be determined equally or separately. So that's why many people prefer using variable costing instead of absorption costing in many cases, because in variable costing only the variable elements of those costs are included, whereas in absorption costing all the fixed and variable elements are there. So how absorption costing actually works: the total manufacturing costs are calculated. These costs are then divided by the number of units produced. The resulting cost per unit includes both fixed and variable production costs. So as in absorption costing, when all the costs are included in the product, that total cost is divided between the total unit. So for example, if a product has a lot of total cost which has fixed and variable elements, so naturally it will have a lot of cost, and many people say that this method is not the best way to allocate cost towards a product, because for example, in the service industry, the fixed element of the cost is very low, so using absorption costing is not very beneficial in those cases. So some advantages of absorption costing include recognition of all production costs in the product pricing, complies with the accounting standards for the financial reporting, just as we discussed earlier, and it is useful for long-term pricing decisions, shows a more complete cost of the product. When all the fixed and variable elements of the cost are included, naturally it will be a more complete picture of the cost of production, and it is more useful in long-term pricing decisions. This is one of the key advantages which this method has when compared with marginal costing, which does not include all the elements of the costing. So it is not wise in long-term decision making, as variable costs can change on day-to-day basis depending on market supply and demand and various other factors as well. Some drawbacks of absorption costing: they destroy the profit. If production volume changes, fixed costs are spread across units, which may hide inefficiencies, just as we discussed. Not always useful for short-term decision making, and encourages overproduction to show higher profit. So lastly, comparison with the variable costing. Variable costing includes variable manufacturing costs in the product cost, fixed overhead treated as period expense. Whereas in absorption costing includes both fixed and variable manufacturing overhead in the product cost. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a short brief discussion, and we will see you next time with some other topic.